do not allow people to make you miss out on the promise. And so, as I've been dealing with people in my work of business, I constantly began to get frustrated. And I prayed and I said, Lord, do not let me walk away from this promise that you gave me because of the frustration of dealing with people. And so, I know that many of you in your career field, you're walking away from, the industry, you're walking away from your business because people are just frustrating you and you're just tired. But I just encourage you, do not allow people to make you miss out on your promise. And so as I was in prayer, I was reminded that Moses allowed the people to cause him to sin, right? The frustration of people to allow him out of frustration to hit a rock versus speak to the rock. And so, and by being disobedient, he himself was not able to make it into the promised land. And so this scripture comes from Numbers chapter 20, verses 12. It says, "But the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, because you did not trust me enough to demonstrate my holiness to the people of Israel, you will not lead them into the land I am giving them." And so constantly as you read the scripture with the people in the wilderness, you see Moses' frustration with people. You see that they constantly sin against the Lord. And he constantly goes to the Lord and says, forgive them. Give them another try. Let them make it into the promised land. And so what the Lord tells Moses, he's like, I want to get rid of all of them. I want to start over. Moses did not understand that the same God that says that I want to get rid of all of them is the same God that created them. And so when God is telling you to let people go, right, from business, for customers, for whatever, to start anew, trust that God knows what he's doing. And so with Moses constantly petitioning for the people, he didn't have to be in the wilderness that long, right? They were just in the wilderness for 40 years because of their murmuring and complaining. But if Moses would have let God just do what he wanted to do, he would have made it to the promised land much sooner. And so I just encourage you to remember that when God says that, let me start new, let me wipe everything clean, to trust him. Because if Moses would have remembered what he did for Adam, right? This is the same God that laid Adam to rest and took a rib from him and created Eve. He could create a new creation. He could bring new customers. He could bring new people to you. You have to let God do the work and let him remove what he needs to remove. But I just encourage you that if you're being frustrated with customers, just in your place of work, and you're like, this is a promise that I prayed for, but now I want to walk away from it because I'm just frustrated. I just encourage you to hold on. I encourage you to shift, make a pivot.